Okay, so today we're going to talk about gathering evidence for your NHD project. Task number 5 is going to be all about finding information and note-taking. So for each checkpoint, you're going to upload an image of your notes. So you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to upload it because I've given you a paper copy of where you're going to take your notes. And you're going to upload your annotated bibliography as a document. Your notes are going to be taken in this note card format. Each source is going to have a different letter because at the end, you're going to have a total of 8 sources. So you're going to have an A source, a B source, and so on, right? So it'll become more obvious as you look at this example. So in here, this is what your paper looks like, but without any information on it. We have the first source. This person named the first source B. And then they took one piece of information from source B. Then they found another source, they named it A, and then they took a piece of information from that. Notice they didn't write whole sentences. Notice it's probably in their own words. That is what you're trying to do with your note catching. Okay, so this will become a little bit more obvious as we do this. So you guys have a paper copy. I'm going to recommend doing paper copy. There is a downloadable one here. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up mine so that you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, that's the wrong one. So right here is our note catcher, right? I'm going to go ahead and minimize it. So remember, when we're looking for information, we're looking at background, the right involved, leaders, actions, responsibilities, new perspectives, change, and effects. So I've already pulled up an article. Well, I haven't pulled up an article. I have pulled up a website. We're all going to start with Britannica for Kids. For most of you guys, you'll find a good general overview here. For some of you guys, you might not find it if it's a very specific thing you're looking for. So I'm going to continue with my example of COVID-19, and I'm going to go ahead and search in here. I'm going to look through, it's going to give me a list of different ones. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with a very basic overview. I click on that. And this is an introduction, right? It's got some general overview about COVID-19 start and the experience and the events that happen with it. So I've already read through it. I'm going to go ahead and take some notes. So now I'm going to split my screen so you guys can kind of see. So over here, I'm going to say that this is source A. Everything I get from this will be source A. I'm going to go in alphabetical order because that is the most logical. So I'm naming it source A. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll scroll down. You can kind of see. I'm going to say, coronavirus was started in Wuhan, China. I need a comma there, don't I? Okay. Then I'm going to say, hey, I'm also going to take from here. Most people only experience mild symptoms. Most feel mild symptoms. All right, so those are both from A. So notice I named each one. I can continue down here, whatever I decide to pull out, right? That's going to go in there as my notes. So now I have source A. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this guy. Go back to full screen. So at this point, I will tell you some websites, if you go down at the bottom, they'll have a thing that you can copy and paste to put into your bibliography. This one does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my citation now while I'm here, because otherwise I'm going to forget where I was at. I click on that, right? Highlight the address bar, Control C will copy it. So then I'm going to go to my bib. So we're going to add a citation. So I'm going to click here to add a citation. And we're on the right spot. It's a website. It's not a book. So I'm going to go ahead and click Control V. And I'm going to click Search. And there it is. So this is right. That's exactly where I was. And it says, it even gives you a credibility here, guys, which is kind of really nice. We could not detect the web page author for this website. Well, that's because it's almost a tertiary document. So does it? No, it doesn't have a website author. So we're going to keep going. And it's going to go ahead and give me, I must hit the wrong one. We're just going to click save. So in here, right? Boom, it's done. It's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and copy it. Copy by bibliography entry. On the bibliography entry, once again, I'm going to go back over here to my bibliography, which is around here somewhere. There it is. And I've already copied it in, right? It's going to be a secondary source. I'll do it again just so you guys can see. If it had a different letter starting here, it would go above it, right? If it was higher in the alphabet, it was A or B, right? And alphabetically, if it comes after it, go after it. All right, so now I'm going to go back, right, to my note catchers. Again, I'm going to show you a different example because that's my A source. I've gathered information from my A source, but now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up a different source of information for you guys to kind of look at. So we've looked at that. Now we're going to look at Gale in context. So on the My Passcode School, if you go to the one that looks like this, Gale in context, if you pull that up, it'll take you here and you can do a search. So this one's a little bit easier kind of for annotations, but it also is going to give you more choices. And I'm just going to use COVID-19. I'm going to use that one and see. So if you notice, they'll have all the content. They'll have a ton of different things, videos, primary sources, in case you like, well, I don't have any primary sources, magazines, all of those things. But I'm just going to kind of look here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the first one again. So having already looked at this article, I will tell you that it is very basic, almost exactly like the Britannica one. But it does give me some other things and some of the things like response. So I'm going to go ahead and add some information to my note catcher. Guess what? This is my second source of information. So I'm going to call it B, right? It's my B source. And I know there's some stuff on here. Symptoms. To most common symptoms. We already kind of talked about that. That was in the last one. It may be deadly. Cases are most affect older individuals. Oh, there's a piece of information I didn't get. But I don't know if I really want to talk about that because I'm going to really talk about rights and responsibilities. So nations were forced to come up with ways to prevent the rapid spread. Nations had to figure out, right, how to stop the virus. Because I want to put it in my own words. I wasn't before, so I'm going to try to be better about that. All right, so this is starting to get into rights because now we're talking about the government, right? It's becoming more involved with what were their rights. So we're going to do another one here where it says stricter measures, right? So governments were forced to take measures, right? They were forced to take action. So that is my B document, right? Well, here's the nice thing about Gale. If you go down all the way to the bottom for Gale, it already has a source citation for you. All you have to do is, make sure you're in the right spot. You click select, it copies it for you, right? I'm going to go back over here. So once again, this is going to be my B document. It's going to be my second one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this just because that's a mess. All right, I'm going to go ahead and Control V and undo. Oh, my undo button. I got to go back here because I made a copy, but it didn't stick. Where's my copy? There we go. Select, right? Now I'm going to go back over here, and I didn't pay attention at all to where that would go. Oh, that's not working. Why is that not working? Oh, I bet I have to hit Control C. Oh, what a mess I am. Okay. So I'm going to hit Control C. and see if that works. Control V. Yeah, there we go. Now I got it right. So you'll notice too, so this is coronavirus, and let's see, CRO, it's going to go above this one. So I have to go ahead and delete it and move it. Oh, I don't want to do anything to that. Enter. I'm going to go back up, and now I'm going to go Control V. And now it's there. But I will tell you too, the other thing I kind of just noticed is we're getting different fonts with this. So you might have to actually like go back and change the fonts when you go and annotate. Okay, so now you've got your source already filled out. It's in alphabetical order. And so it's a secondary source just like the other one. So the thing too you're going to notice is that you're going to run into similar information. So remember, this automatically saves. I don't have to worry about saving it. I've got my information done. And now I'm going to continue on. I'm going to go gather more information. Hopefully this helps. And if you have questions, you guys can always email me. So this is step one in a 5 or 4-part thing where you're going to have 8 total sources. So let me know.